When someone finds out you like cars, the clock starts. It's then only a matter of time before the words, "What's your favorite car?" get spoken. I don't get that question. The idea that it would be a singular final answer makes no sense to me. I don't have a favorite car. I have a rotating list of cars that I all love and want to own. One is maybe my favorite for a bit, but the week after it's something else entirely. So I created the list. It lives in my Notes app and separated out by country around 80 different cars. Yes, 80, as of now. I swear I'm not crazy. I plan to go through the list and showcase not only why each one made it, but also how so many of them got me into cars in the first place. Quick side note, I'm planning to make these every few videos as of now, but that might change over time. Car number 1 is fittingly the first car I fell in love with, the original Audi R8 V10. Like many people who grew up in the 2000s, my introduction to cars was the fault of a certain television show held on a windswept airfield in England. I remember first watching it in my grandfather's kitchen on a tiny TV, and despite only catching the end of an episode, I was immediately hooked. That happened to be the Veyron vs McLaren F1 drag race, so it made a good first impression. Once back home, I went on to Netflix and started watching, and didn't stop until I had seen every single season. And it really was that R8 that I kept coming back to. I must have watched the segment with it and the ZR1 about 20 different times. It was my introduction to the idea of an everyday supercar. But why does it make the list? Well, as with all cars, the first thing I noticed was the styling. Based heavily on the stunning Le Mans Quattro concept car that had been shown 3 years earlier, it was the most striking and sexy Audi I had ever seen. The first true exotic from Ingolstadt, it has the classic supercar shape and is very well proportioned. And those LED headlights that debuted on the R8 looked like the future, and became arguably the most iconic part of the car. Many also had those glorious carbon side blades, another futuristic touch. The rear of the car capped it all off with some incredible taillights and a rear end that tucked neatly back underneath. As a whole, it managed to be both exciting, yet still tasteful. It never felt brash or ostentatious like the Italians, but was striking in the way a 911 just wasn't. It still looks fresh today, which is more than many of its contemporaries can say. 430. Sorry about that. It must be all the pollen in the air. It's the type of styling that makes me take a picture every time I see one. And God, do they look absolutely stunning in blue. Now, while the looks are what first got me intrigued, the powertrain of the R8 is why I keep coming back. The original V8 introduced the world to Audi's Halo car, but the V10 cemented its place, and it's the one that makes the list. Yes, it was detuned compared to the Gallardo, but it was still 5.2 liters of pure music. That ad with the exposed engine bay litters my YouTube history. Personally, I think there are few things in this world that sound better than a naturally aspirated V10 at full chat. They are a rare breed, and the one in the R8 was the right amount of raw without being too coarse. It demands your attention and refuses to relinquish it. With a redline a toe flex away from $9,000 and well over 500 horsepower, it can seriously move, even by today's standards. And then, to top it all off, you could get it with one of the best transmissions ever fitted to a car, a gated 6-speed manual. The ability to have that level of control and engagement elevated the experience massively, and is one of the reasons the car stands up so well long after production has ended. You get to choose exactly how all those horses are delivered. It's this melding of engine and transmission that provide performance deep into the realm of the supercar, with a soundtrack to match, and you are in full control of all of it. Now, on a more serious note, while the styling and power of the R8 are what make it a supercar, what makes it truly special among its peers is the usability. It doesn't need to hide in a garage when the sky splits open, thanks to Quattro. The interior is that of an Audi, so it makes sense the buttons work, and it was even big enough that all 6'5" of Jeremy Clarkson could move about and see out. You could even conceivably blend in with the right color and some self-control. Well, as much as you can in something with that much displacement. A frunk with decent space and a shelf behind the seats means it can carry the occasional groceries and be used every day without big compromises. It manages to straddle that fine line between the camp of being too German and joyless to being so outlandish you don't want to use it as much as you'd really like to. It's a hard trick to pull off, but I think Audi managed it beautifully. Like I said earlier, my introduction to the everyday supercar, and still my favorite iteration of the concept. So, in the end, the R8 makes the list because of its styling, drivetrain, and usability, but also because it's what pulled me down the rabbit hole of car fandom, a place I've never managed to leave. A chameleon that can just as easily commute on rainy, congestion-filled days as it can carve up a mountain in the early morning light, providing a sonorous soundtrack. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like it, and if you want to see more, please subscribe.